From the New York Post, ex-GOP aide paid fetish artist to mutilate her and claimed it was an anti-Trump attack, according to court documents. So we can't actually show the photos. I'll show you the picture of the woman without the brutal photos. But this is her, Natalie Green, arrested and charged with staging the violent attack. This is the Right's Jussie Smollett. It happened. And I have to blur it because she sliced herself up like crazy and wrote Trump whore on her stomach. But apparently they say it was all a hoax. Okay. A former New Jersey GOP aide allegedly paid a fetish artist to carve dozens of cuts into her skin and had a pale scrawl Trump whore on her stomach in order to claim she was the victim of a politically motivated violent attack, according to shocking new court documents. Apparently, she then had herself zip-tied up. She claimed she was zip-tied by the phantom assailants during the alleged bogus assault. It's funny because a lot of people on the right are pointing out all she had to do was go to an anti-ICE rally wearing a MAGA hat, and it would have actually happened to her, so why stage it? But I guess the only thing that we can give her credit for is she didn't claim they screamed, "This is Pelosi country" or something.
Isn't it? It's so startling to see people get to this level of like hysteria, and also because it's an attention-seeking thing for sure. It's to create some kind of huge drama that the entire world will have their eye on. It's like I want all this attention, and I'm willing to hurt myself in a really dramatic way to get it and maybe cause some kind of political strife. And it's kind of gross, and it's weird to see it get to this level, starting with the Jussie Smollett and stuff. People just keep doing things like this to try to influence politics and also bring attention to themselves and better their career. That's a big one.
The difference, because I keep thinking about the Arab Spring. I asked this before we went live too, and I'll ask again. That the guy who lit himself on fire, I think it was at Tahrir. I don't know if it was Tahrir Square. Do you know exactly where he was when he lit it?
That's Mohammed Bouazizi, I believe, was Tunisia.
And I wonder, Tunisia, and if it's like mental illness or they have no hope. Like that guy obviously couldn't afford food, so he had given up. But or is it both? And this woman, like you said, it's maybe will improve her career. She didn't kill herself like that guy did. But is it mental illness? Is it desperation that why someone would do something like this? Like they have no hope for the future and they feel like we need some radical change.
No, I think this is the social media era where people are desperate and they'll do anything for attention. We saw this with YouTube in the early days where people would do shock content where they'd harass people, threaten them. You've got these TikTok ding-dong ditch pranks, which is they're not. There was this one prank they were doing where it's break into people's homes. Some people in London were going up to houses and walking in the front door and doing whatever they wanted because it generated shock content for them.
I used to see videos of people squirting ketchup on their head. I feel like that's the slippery slope to things like this.
Or licking the ice cream. That was one where they would lick the ice cream. And then he goes so far as there was people like stealing people's cars or breaking into their homes and are pretending to rob them at ATMs. One guy got shot, I'm pretty sure, stabbed as a result of that. And apps should have a absolute no allowance policy at all. If anything like that comes about, you're perma-banned, IP banned forever.
Again, I would, what Cody was saying earlier, draw back and say, well, why are people desperate for search and meeting? And it's, in my mind, alienation from God.
100%.
Yeah. This is what Charlie was telling us. Like, if you have God-centered life, you're not going to do this. You're loved by God. And it's painful to see this kind of, and I said, there's spiritual warfare going on out there. Some people are very susceptible to it. Look, I pray to put on the armor of God every day, Ephesians 6. But, if you're not centered there, it's very easy. And this AI, maybe people talk about it being the Antichrist, but certainly the internet it brings us down to this base human, and I'm using base in a different term than based, but, our base instincts really as animals in a way. And this constant one-upsmanship, the shock value, it's I don't know how we get around it other than turning focus towards God. And I'm God, country, family. That is why I'm standing up. But the more we take it out of the government sphere, the further people get alienated, and they're just acceptable tools.
In 2000, before the internet, really internet video, for me it was theater. It was something greater than myself, and I was agnostic, wholeheartedly agnostic at the time, and whether it's, and there was a godliness too, producing something with a group of people that was greater than ourselves, and the sacrifice of 70 hours of rehearsal and then letting other people be the star and making sure that someone else is adulated over you. That's your role right now. And that when the internet came around, it was like all my theater friends, they basically started getting very hyper. A lot of them were hyper political because that's their creative outlet now. It was like, I can make a video. I still get the claps. I still get but you're not with a group of people creating a greater message. That needs to be revitalized somehow. And man, the damn internet doesn't keep us separated, but the nature of the internet is I can talk to you across the pond and we can have a great conversation and satisfy a lot of these human urges without still completing that, like what's called pragma in Greek love. It's a type of love. It's pragmatic love that you develop with people through overcoming obstacles together.
Absolutely. It's esprit de corps. It's the essence of our society, why we group together and overcome, man versus nature. But, the family unit is the number one. That's why we go back to the family as the centerpiece of American life. You are a family, ultimately protecting yourself, pushing everyone better for it, sacrificing for your kids, and then you get to be part of a community of families doing the same. And then we get to a state, then we get to a country. And that's what we have to remember is like when we start breaking down these borders, the country goes down, the states go down. Ultimately, the attack is on the family, and we end up, people just completely adrift.
Dude, the internet shocked the liberal system so hard. The way that your little kid can be getting warped, their brain is warped on the internet, sitting next to you at the table, and you don't even know it if they have a device. I don't know, like if this is the step of human evolution, where now we're becoming Homo technus, and some of us, and then the rest of us are going to be like, no, we don't want it, and then we're just going to subserve to this human Borg mind construct thing, or if somehow AI will be like, it's unhealthy for humans to be separated from each other. We need to reinvigorate the family and the community.
Yeah. I think we have to commit to ourselves personally. Only you can make this difference. And I'm in I feel good to see books on the table. Really, you have to turn off the phones at some point and kind of go back to analog living. Obviously, you can't do that all day, but you need to commit to either reading the Bible in hard copy or spending time reading to your kids, or something you're doing that's just completely phones away. That you can put it away, and because it's just a constant. We don't know. The mind is such an incredible organ. We have no concept of really how it works.
And the radiation.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry to interrupt.
Radiation. The kids' brains are still, forming. Our brains are still forming, and they can still be changed. But like the kids, that's what's the real threat. That the kind of the progressive era went after the kids, and they were in kind of embryonic stage of actually developing as people.
In the early 80s, I was obsessed with video games as like a 4-year-old. Our cat died, and I came in and I started playing Atari, and I was like, I'm not sad anymore. If I'm ever sad, I can turn on a computer and I won't be sad. Yeah. Like, what a horrible thing for a child, but it was true. And I just learned to become obsessed with the computer, like love the computer. Love is such a weird word, but obsessive love, mania. That's a kind of love, is manic love for this machine. And that was in just video game off the internet, no internet yet. It was just the TV, the video game, the constant learning and problem solving. And I'm not punished if I fail necessarily. It doesn't hurt to fail anyway.
Well, now the child, and I guess it's happening all over, the one who is killed through AI, essentially, developing a relationship with a chatbot. Look, addiction is real. It's not just substances. It's obviously our brains are wired in a way that we want to suppress bad thoughts and kind of concentrate on positive ones. And they know that, and they build it in a way to make it as addictive as possible.
I've had this thought process for a long time where the internet, although it's a useful tool, it can be inherently negative almost all the time. Sometimes I'll do my podcast Monday, Wednesday, or Saturday, and I'll be doing it, and the content I'm covering will be almost overtly negative, and I'll notice that after a couple of streams, and it starts to wear on me mentally, and I tend to think I'm pretty good. I'm pretty stoic mentally, but it'll start to wear on me. And at the end of the year in December, I always go to Sevierville, Tennessee, in the mountains next to Gatlinburg, and I don't use my phone. I unplug everything, and I go out and I'm hiking in the woods. I'll go to the moonshine tasting thing, and it completely resets me. It's a very interesting thing. And then I come back and I'm back on the internet. I'm more inspired. I'm ready to go, and it kind of carries me for a little while.
How you say you spend 1 week without the device? Is it roughly 1 week?
Yeah.
How long after that are you refreshed? How many weeks?
Oh, the burnout comes fast, but it's a few months.
I was talking with my wife. I had this idea. I think it's a really great idea. I was saying, with these pre-records we're doing on Friday, we're done around 4 p.m. What we should do is we should schedule a dinner, and then everyone has to put their devices away and spend family time together. And then from sundown on Friday until sundown on Saturday, you're not allowed to do any kind of work, touch any kind of buttons.
Bro, you're never beating the allegations. You're never beating the allegations. Never beating the allegations.
And then I said, we'll call it Shabbat.
Good idea.
It actually is a really great idea. I don't know about the Friday at sundown scheduling stuff, but the idea that you set aside time for your family and community for, once a week, I think is extremely important, as a church is supposed to be. So whatever it is you do, it actually is a great idea to have a dinner once a week with your community. This is why we're being fragmented, broken apart, and at each other's throats. Why people are going insane is because we don't connect with each other anymore. Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.